The following video was shot several years ago with a low-resolution webcam.
When you get older and with a lot of time on your hands like I have now, you start thinking about things happened in your life, not particularly important, but just things. When we were living over on Mountain View Drive in Stone Mountain, I could walk to school. It was about 3 miles, but I did it a number of times. And just not because I had to, the bus would come near the house. But sometimes particularly when I was playing Little League Baseball or whatever, I'd have to walk to the park from school and then from there home. And there was a little store. It's a bit out of the way, but I went there a lot because they had fireworks. And even though in elementary school I was only, when I was in the the 7th grade, I would have been, 12? But even before that, I'd go buy fireworks and this guy that ran the store didn't care that I was young. And the other thing I bought there, which is also nowadays just sounds ridiculous, but different world back then, I could also buy gunpowder. Now here I am, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old buying pound cans of gunpowder. And what I was using that for was to fire a homemade cannon I'd made. It was made out of a pipe with just an end cap on it, and I drilled a hole in it back toward the end of the end cap. Then I put a cap of gunpowder in there, and then I would drop anything would shoot, but the ideal thing was a ball bearing about the size of the pipe. And so then I would put some gunpowder over that hole in the back, and for a fuse I would use, of all things, steel wool. It's hard to find that in the store anymore, but with steel wool, I guess you can find it in a hardware store, but steel wool, you stretch it out and you light it and it just glows. Of course it's red hot, and then when you get the gunpowder, it'd fire the gunpowder, and then that in turn would shoot whatever it was I'd loaded in the front end of it. Of course, it was a very dangerous thing to do, and I shouldn't have done it, because if the pressure had built up either by me putting too much powder in there or putting in something that got stuck in the pipe, I would have had a pipe bomb going off, which would probably, if it hadn't have maimed me, it would have done me serious danger. So that was the kind of thing that I was capable of. That, and one time we had some fireworks in Lamar. My cousin, he was 3 or 4 years older than me. Anyway, he was putting a firecracker into a log, and he was going to blow the log up with a firecracker. And I got it in my head, hey, I'm going to stick a firecracker in his back pocket and light it, which I did. And fortunately, it wasn't a real powerful one. It's what we called a black cat. It was paper wound firecracker. But at any rate, just as I lit it, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, that thing, and I hollered out his name, Lamar, and I hadn't gotten that out of my mouth good until it went off. And it went off with such force, it tore the back pocket off his Levi's, which has that brad and then the stitches on it. And of course, it burned his butt real bad. But anyway, when that thing went off, he jumped straight up. Looked like he didn't even bend his knees. But anyway, he jumped straight up, and as he was coming down, he turned around facing me, and he had death in his eyes. He started chasing me, and I ran up the path toward his house. And fortunately, his mother was coming down the path, so she kept him from killing me. I can't remember what punishment I ultimately got from that, but it was I should have gotten some punishment. That was very dangerous. But that was kind of stunts we did back in those days. We're lucky to have survived them. Another amusing incident was we were getting off the bus, which the bus came along, let us out at Shepherd Road and Mountain View Drive. So that was about a 2/10 of a mile walk, maybe 3/10 of a mile walk up to our house. And so Lamar and Diane and myself, and maybe Donnie. No, I don't think Donnie was in school yet. But anyway, we got off the bus and walking up that way, and we came across this snake that we called a coach whip because it was very, very long. It was a black snake, and it would slither, but it was very fast. And I don't know why, because ordinarily a snake would try to escape. But this thing chased Diane nearly all the way to her home. And she was screaming so loud that her dad from their house was above ours, so it was close to a half mile away, could hear her screaming. So he was running down the road. And that snake, I'm telling you, never will forget that. I don't know how she reacts to snakes today.